Hey everyone, I'm Giovanni and welcome back to Salt and Pepper Pickleball, where we serve up that pickle and pasión. Today we are checking out the Volair Shift Elongated full foam pickleball paddle. After spending some time with it, I've got to say this paddle impressed me from the start. But before I get into it, let's go ahead and knock out these specs. So this is going to be Volair's elongated shape, but remember, this does come in 3 shapes. This comes in the wide body, it comes in the elongated, and then it comes in the hybrid. And then they actually come in 2 different color schemes on each paddle. The elongated, like this one, comes in your yellow with the gray. But the cool detail, man, I love details. I freaking love details. So this one has, yes, the yellow on one side, the gray on the other. But guess what? Gray, then it has the yellow emblem on the inside. Flip it over, you got yellow and then the gray on the inside. I love those little subtle touches. It's so cool. But the other version of the elongated is actually going to be like a neon yellow and then a blue on one side. Then with the wide body, you have a funky pink and purple. Then you have a cool little sky blue with gray. And then you have Dylan Frazier's signature paddle, which is his hybrid paddle. And that's going to be in red and gray. And then the last one is going to be yellow with like a baby blue. All of them super nice, super sexy color schemes. I love that you're getting 2 colors on either side. Huge fan. Volair, you knocked it out of the park with the design on this one. I love it. So again, this is the 16.5 inches long elongated paddle, 7.5 inches wide. The grip length, the website says that the grip length is 5.6 inches. But right now, when I measure my over grip from where it hits the butt clap all the way up to where the tape meets the throat, where I actually ended it because I felt that it was comfortable for my hand, actually 6 inches on the dot, you guys. So you're actually getting some more room on this paddle than what they're saying in the specs. And guys, look at that. Tui, no issues whatsoever. I don't feel jammed up in this thing. I don't feel like my fingers are all like fighting for real estate here. Like, this is really nice. Really nice. And if you put your pinky over, or if you do the golf grip like I do, this thing fits in here great. Exceptionally great. This is cool. Then the grip circumference on this is going to be 4.125, a little bit more on the narrower side, because I do like that 4 1/4. But with the overgrip that I have on here, it actually bumps it up to 4 1/4 for me anyway. So it feels really nice. I like it. Now, this came in right at 8 ounces and I had to mod it up. I really did. I felt like it just needed like a touch of weight, and I ended up bumping this up to 8.6 ounces by just adding a clear edge guard all the way around. And then I added 4 inches of 1 inch per gram tungsten tape from 11.624 on here. And then of course, with an overgrip, it always increases a little bit of the weight as well. So that's how I got it up to that 8.6. Now, this is a 14 millimeter paddle. The wide body, the hybrid, and yes, the elongated, all 14 millimeters. There is no 16 in this line. And I have to say, this is right now my favorite 14 millimeter paddle that I have ever played with. Loved it. So I already said it's 14 millimeters. Let's get to the internals on this thing. This is a full foam floating core that has a patent pending still flex zone, what they call a flex zone. This is basically 3 channels that have been carved into the actual face of the paddle. And right here, if you see the design that's actually on the face, that's pretty much where the channels actually are sitting underneath that design. Guys, those little details, so cool. So these flex zones, what they do is they actually they're supposed to pocket the ball better. This also has EVA that runs the perimeter of the face of the paddle as well. And it actually has two different densities. It has a thicker density here at the bottom and a thinner density here at the top. The reason why is so that way the thicker density that's added here to the bottom of the paddle in order to beef up the throat and then expand the sweet spot. But then at the top, it's to add more forgiveness and eliminate that dead spot zone up here at the tip when you're a little off center or you're outstretched wide and you're not hitting, thunk thunk spots. It's more dink dink spots. And then the EVA foam that's wrapped around the perimeter is actually wrapped in a thin outer layer ring of carbon. So that way it can reinforce that EVA on the outside so that it promotes more stability for you guys. Then this has a nice T700 raw carbon fiber face. And guys, still gritty. I've been playing with this for over a month. I have to have at least 35 hours with this. I took it to a lot of drill sessions. I took it when Frank Solana came here and taught a class. It was a 7-hour class. This was the paddle that I used in that class. I played half a tournament with this too. I wanted to start with a different paddle, and then I just ended up coming to this one because it was just so comfortable and it was so nice. But yes, good paddle face on here, still nice and gritty, both sides, still looks good. That's why I always put an edge guard, because I can see some scrapes up here, but guess what? Not to the actual edge guard. So from the very first game, this paddle felt easy. No awkward adjustment period. No, maybe after a few sessions, I'll get used to it type of feeling. It was pretty much pick up and play right away for me. And I think a lot of players are going to really appreciate that. The first thing I noticed with the Shift Elongated was the feel. It definitely leans more on the stiffer side, but it still felt arm friendly. And that lines up with what I'm actually seeing out and about talking with different people. So even though you get that more connected response through the stiffer face, it never felt harsh or uncomfortable during long play sessions. And let me tell you, the spin on this paddle is also really nice. And that's always something that I've always heard about Volair. And I've actually played a couple of people who used to play with the Mach 1 and then the Mach 2s. And that was something that I always noticed when playing against them, was they had so much shape, so much arc. They could really curve that ball when they were doing their little slice serves, or even like when they were putting a little bit of slice onto their dink, so that way it stayed dead and, gave you like a little dead and then a lower ball, because when you're so used to dinking and people are using topspin, all of a sudden somebody puts a little bit of backspin on it and the ball just kind of bites, goes straight up, and you're not used to that. You're used to being able to kind of, sit back just a little bit longer and then use that force from that topspin and then push it back. Well, with that back slice dink, I'm telling you, it doesn't happen. You actually have to bring it up and put a little something back on it because it's almost like a dead ball. Whether it's rolling topspin drives, hitting, dipping, passing shots, or getting aggressive with your serves, you guys, the paddle grabs this ball really well, which seems to be the consensus when talking with other people who've used Volair in the past. And I can see why. I feel super confident shaping my shots and creating angles, especially in fast hands battles and even in that transition play. Control was also one of the biggest standouts for me when it came to this paddle. At the kitchen line, this paddle was just rock solid for me. Dinks, oh my goodness, felt so predictable, you guys. Resets were easy to actually keep low. I wasn't worried about putting these high and then having an oh shit moment when my when my partner gets blasted because I put a ball shoulder height and which is perfect to just, pounce on and put it right at their feet or even into their body, which, hey, it's part of the game. Body bags. But honestly, I had no issues with this. And even with pop-ups, I had no real issues. Even when speeding up the ball or defending really hard shots, the paddle stayed really stable and even forgiving. Felt so forgiving. And I know it has to be because of those 3 channels. It just gave me that confidence to play my game without feeling like I had to overthink every single shot. It just gave me the freedom to just go out there, play my game, have fun, and just really have a good time. Now, when it comes to power, I'd say that this paddle gives you a really good amount of pop without being uncontrollable. It's not one of those paddles where the ball absolutely launches off the face and you're scared to reset anything. Instead, it gives you enough put away power when you need it, but still keeps you connected enough to maintain control throughout the point, you guys. I'm going to say it again, I felt so confident with this paddle. If I wanted to speed it up, you guys, it was there. I had no issues whatsoever, and I was not scared to hit a hard flick or to hit a hard rolling shot. Like I really felt confidence with this paddle. Now, one thing I kept coming back to while using this paddle was just how complete it felt. I feel that this paddle has a really, really good balance of touch, power, control. Definitely has really good spin and comfortability, because my arm, even after playing in Frank Solana's 7 hours in 1 day camp, my arm did not hurt. I had a snowboarding accident where I tore all the ligaments that connect my clavicle to my shoulder, and it has been a sensitive arm ever since. Guys, 7 hours straight, had no issues whatsoever playing with this Volair Shift. Nothing felt weird about this paddle. Nothing felt overly demanding about this paddle. Nothing felt like I needed to change my mechanics to make this paddle work for me. Not at all. It honestly feels like one of those paddles that a wide range of players could just pick up and immediately enjoy, even though this has a $189 price tag. Whether you're an intermediate player looking for something easy to use, or even a more advanced player and wanting a balanced all-around paddle, I think the Shift Elongated fits really nicely into that category. But overall, I came away really impressed with this Volair Shift Elongated. You're getting really solid spin with this paddle. You're getting great control at the kitchen. You're getting usable power, a comfortable but slightly stiffer feel, and it has a super easy learning curve to it. And honestly, this paddle just works, you guys. It doesn't try to do too much, and because of that, it ends up doing a lot of things really well. So if you've tried the Shift Elongated already, let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. I would really like to hear you guys' experience with this paddle. And if you guys get a chance, head over to my pickle list created by Mr. Pickle Lee and go ahead and leave a review there, or just go on and read what others have said about these paddles. But if you've enjoyed this review, please make sure to like, subscribe, and always, family, always, you guys, remember to keep smiling, keep laughing, and keep playing pickle with pasión.